So today we are going to study a comparison between four yoga practices, that is Udhyana Bandh, Agnisar, Kapalbhati and Noli. Introduction. Udhyan, Agnisar, Kapalbhati and Noli are very efficacious and very important among the practices constituting the yogic system of physical education. While differing from one another, these practices have some point of similarity. So these are the points which can be found easily between all of them. So first point is all of them are capable of being practiced in the sitting position, though except Kapal Bhati. All could be advantageously practiced in standing with bent shoulder position. Second point, all these practices have exhalatory retention phase except Kapal Bhati. All these practice involve play of abdominal muscles. All of these promote peristaltic movement. Basically, peristaltic is a series of wave-like muscle contraction that moves food through the digestive tract or alimentary canal. It starts in the esophagus, where strong waves like motion of the smooth muscle moves ball of swallowed food to the stomach. Now there is intercomparison of all the four practices, Udyan and Agnisara. Common point, both are performed after complete exhalation, which is maintained throughout the exercise. There is point of difference. In Udyan, the main action is mock inhalation. In Agnisar, this is to be avoided. Second, in Udyan, abdominal muscles are kept relaxed, while Agnisar, abdominal muscles are kept contracted. Udyan gives a concave appearance to the abdomen. There is no such concavity seen in Agnisar. And the fourth point, in Agnisar, the abdominal region near the navel takes part, while Udyan, the abdomen above and below the navels come into play. The position once taken up in Udyan is to be maintained throughout. Agnisar consists in an alternate movement of vigorous contraction and protrusion of the abdomen. Sixth point, Udyan is exercise mainly of thoracic diaphragm, while Agnisar is that of pelvic diaphragm. Now, the difference between or common point between Udyan and Kapalabhati. Let's focus on the common points. Udyan is stationary, while in Kapalbhati, movement of abdominal muscles take place with every inhalation and exhalation. Second point, Udyan can be done either in sitting or standing, but Kapalbhati is invariably done in the sitting position, preferably in Padmasana. Third point, in Kapalbhati, chest is fixed in a little elevated position and the action is performed by the abdominal muscles. In Udyan, abdominal muscles play a passive role, the active role being played by the thorax. The process of mock inhalation consists expansion of chest without allowing the air to get in. Fourth point, the efficiency of the practice of Kapalbhati is judged by the speed and the rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. On the other hand, efficiency of Udyan lies in the maintenance of the position for a prolonged period after the correct position is taken up. Note a common point and point of difference between Udyan Bandh and Noli. Both can be practiced in sitting or better in standing position. Both are done under exhalatory retention condition. In both, negative pressure is created in the internal cavity and is used for sucking liquid in the body cavities. There is point of difference. Udyan forms a preliminary practice for Noli, the way Noli lies through Udyan. Noli is further development of Uddiyana. We can say Noli is equal to Udyan plus isolation and rolling manipulation of the abdominal recti. In Noli, greater amount of negative pressure is produced in the internal cavities. Now, there is common points and point of difference between Agnisara and Kapalabhati. So both are abdominal exercise of repetitive nature, but in Agnisar the action is repeated slowly, while in Kapalabhati it is done with the speed which is ideally fixed at 120 repetition per minute. So this can be point out 120 repetition per minute. The second point, the region of contraction of the abdomen is around the navel in both exercises. Now focus on the point of difference. In Agnisar, the abdominal muscles are moved back and forth after complete exhalation. But in Kapalbhati, the exhalation is done by inward stroke of the lower abdomen and inhalation automatic as the abdominal walls come into the normal position or come into its normal position. Second point, Agnisar deal with pelvic diaphragm while Kapalbhati works mainly on the thoracic diaphragm. So there is whole comparison between Agnisar, Kapalabhati, and Nauli. And here are the common points. Both are practiced under exhalation. This is the common feature between Agnisar and Nauli. Both deal with abdominal muscles. And the point of difference between the above in Agnisar is an attempt or at mock exhalation for contraction. Such a contraction comes in the way of isolation of recti in the Nauli. The second part of Agnisar containing protrusions has some similarity with the attempt at isolation of recti in Nauli, but for satisfactory isolation of recti in the Nauli. The essential features is that of mock inhalation and not of mock exhalation. Second point, Kapalbhati is a type of breathing exercise including speedy and incessant inhalation and exhalation, maintaining fixed rhythm. Noli may be called as breathing exercise but of different nature. Inhalation and exhalation form the essential part of Kapalabhati. Nauli as a breathing exercise differs from Kapalabhati in that it is retention of breath outside, that is Bhaya Kumbhak. Third point, in Kapalabhati, abdominal muscles are alternately contracted and relaxed as a whole, while in the Nauli, the abdominal recti are isolated from the other abdominal muscles. There are vigorous contraction is maintained and they are differentiated and alternatively contracted is maintained and they are differentiated and alternatively contracted and relaxed to give the appearance of the wave. Now summaries of all the points that we discussed today, the very efficacious and important. While differing from one another, these practices have some points of similarity.